Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, and coming up on today's show, we're going to look at a recent event held at Bluestone Country Club for blind golfers. They get a chance to play some of the best courses in the Golf Association of Philadelphia. And we're going to meet a couple of the competitors, one of their mentors, as they were out on the links at Bluestone Country Club. Also coming up in our Meet the Pros segment, we're going to meet two pros, a husband and a wife who are golf professionals, but also the head coaches for the golfers down at the University of Delaware. And we'll go to Spring Haven Country Club, catch up with one of our Rothman specialists with a little tip or two about taking care of your knees when it comes to the game of golf. So we got a full program up next right here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
When I got back from the Gulf War, I was afraid to leave my house for 5 years. Clearview Hope and Renee Powell saved my life.
When I started Clearview Hope, I wanted to do all that I could to help our nation's women military veterans.
Renee, with golf, you have empowered all of us, and we just cannot thank you enough.
The best stories end in thanks. Share your story at ThanksPGAPro.com.
Everyone is looking for something. Consistency, quality, peace of mind. Found. The Haverford Trust Company.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues now with a look back at a recent event held at Bluestone Country Club. It involved some 30 golfers who are members of the Mid-Atlantic Blind Golfers Association. They get to play more than 24 times a year at some of the great golf courses, part of the Golf Association of Philadelphia. We went to Bluestone, caught up with a couple of the golfers and their mentors.
21-footer, okay? I think it's going to break right to left, okay? You know the speed of it, okay? So it's going to break right to left.
The organization is the Mid-Atlantic Blind Golf Association, and we've been around since the mid-1940s. You know, it's an opportunity for blind and visually impaired golfers to play the game of golf. It's a golf organization, but it's more of a, as much as that, it's a social thing for enabling blind people to get out and play golf.
Nice going. Whoa, right on the green.
When I was 8 years old, my dad was teaching my brother, and I wanted to give it a try, so my dad took me and my brother out at the same time, and he started teaching me how to play. It's peaceful and fun to play.
Many of the blind golfers say if it wasn't for us and other organizations of this type, they would be homebound. This gets them out, gets them to know fellow golfers in the same category of sight that they're in, and an instance and thoughts of we're all in it together and let's make the best that we can. It's funny because I've never heard any blind golfer complain. especially when they're on the golf course.
You have to be qualified in order to join the organization. You need a doctor's note to say that you are, in fact, legally blind. And we have a program where you send the golfers to a golf pro, a local golf pro, and we make sure that the golfer is capable of playing 18 holes of golf. And what we're looking for is we're not looking for great golfers, we're just looking for people that can hit the ball semi-solid and keep the pace of play moving.
The coaches has more requirements than just showing up. They have to make sure that the golfer gets to the course and home from the course. In addition to that, depending on the member's blindness, they may have to tee the ball and walk off steps. If they're just legally blind, they can usually play the ball by teeing it up themselves, and they just need help in the direction.
And we have 35 courses we play on average a year, starting from the beginning of April to early November. So we pretty much have one event a week. And we play courses like Ace and Bluestone today. We play a lot of very nice courses, and a lot of courses in the area have been very generous to donate course time to us. Our website is mabga.org, which is the abbreviation for Middle Atlantic Blind Golf Association. You can find information about our history, the phone numbers there, contact people, and that's how you get a hold of us.
An inspirational look at some of the golfers involved in the Mid-Atlantic Blind Golfers Association. All right, stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll meet the pros, two of them, a husband and wife team from the University of Delaware. That's next on Inside Golf.
I guess I really like the challenge of golf.
As long as there is fear, as long as there is curiosity, as long as there are undiscovered corners of the earth, and as long as there is willingness and desire, then you are capable of more. The BMW Championship is coming to Philadelphia September 2018. The top 70 PGA Tour players will be there. Will you?
Now, Meet the Pro, brought to you by Haverford Trust, where quality investing is a hole-in-one for our clients.
I first got started in golf at a very young age. My father was a very good golfer. I liked playing golf because you didn't have to have anyone to play with, and just really found a passion for playing golf just by myself.
I got started in the game of golf with my parents, and my dad loved to play golf and took me along, and I kind of liked it. I wouldn't say I officially liked it until I got better and wasn't so frustrated by the sport. Well, I wasn't actually going to become a PGA professional. I had some time on my hand during the summer, and so I was still playing after college, and I had a wonderful college experience, but it just wasn't my goal necessarily to go pro. But I was hired by Titleist Golf Company in that interim time, and I moved out to California and started working for them, and it just kept me in the game and gave me more love of the game.
I would practice golf all the time, every moment I possibly could. I read everything about golf, and I just think that desire to get better at the game helped me find my career path in golf so I could help other people get better at the game of golf. And I think that we both have a passion for helping people get better at the game of golf and really understand why we enjoy the game so much. Watching her get into the college golf scene and becoming a coach, I really developed a desire to help her get her programs better. So, you know, we both, like I said before, we both really have a passion in trying to help our students get better, not only at golf, but at life in general.
And obviously knowing how good he is at player development, I've always wanted him to be part of the programs that I've been in. So. The men and women that we coach on our teams are very talented individuals, very driven. I would say one of the biggest challenges we have with them is they're perfectionistic and they want the perfect golf shots, the perfect scores, the perfect everything, and obviously those of us who've played this game long enough, we know that's an impossible request. They're at that age where that's a huge learning curve.
What we try to preach to them is to try to be as patient as you possibly can. No one can be perfect in this game. You're going to hit a lot of bad shots, and just see what the score is at the end of the round. And hopefully if you stay patient, it's gonna be a low score.
The competitive aspect of golf is still very enticing to both of us, and so being around the college kids brings that out. But again, we're doing more for them in life as well, which I think is definitely a nice asset that we don't always feel like we can do.
We were the first husband-wife to play in the professional national championship. She was the second female ever to play in the championship, so that was a really special experience. I have since played in it 6 more times, but also another special thing is on the women's side at University of Delaware, we've won our conference championship twice, and the program is very young, within 8 years, and we've been to the NCAA regionals, so that was very special to be able to do that together.
Once you find a passion for golf, there's so many ways to use your skills and talents. It can be in the club setting. It doesn't have to be in the club setting. It can be working with kids at the first tee. It can be, you know, lots of age groups are participants in this wonderful game. So I think just finding what your skill set is, and if you have the passion for golf, there's no point, you should pursue the career.
One of our graduating classes, we had 4 girls graduate, and all 4 of those girls are in the golf business in some form, whether it's playing, teaching, at the Golf Channel, or on the recruiting side. I mean, there's just an endless variety of possibilities for someone in the business.
The same with anything that you are passionate about. It doesn't make going to work a bad thing. It makes it a lot of fun every day. You can go in there with a smile.
An interesting look at a unique couple, 2 professionals, co-coaches of the golf program at the University of Delaware. Did I mention they're proud members of the Philadelphia section of the PGA? Leela Mackey from the Philadelphia section now takes us to Spring Haven Country Club for our Rothman Specialist segment.
We're here at the Spring Haven Club with Philadelphia PGA partner Rothman Institute to discuss some common golf-related injuries and some tips for how you can prevent them. Here to help us deliver these tips are PGA professional Ben Debski and Rothman Institute sports medicine surgeon Donald Mazer.
Thanks, Leela. Welcome to the Spring Haven Club. My name's Ben Debski. I'm the head golf professional, and I'm here with Donald Mazer, doctor from the Rothman Institute. We're here today to talk about some common golf injuries amongst golfers. And doctor, what are some of those common injuries that you're seeing these days?
Ben, as a sports medicine specialist, see a lot of patients with golf injuries. Probably the 4 most common injuries we see in golf are 1, back injuries, 2, shoulder tendinopathies, rotator cuff, elbow tendinitis, and knee injuries. My practice is primarily based on treating the knee. That's what I do the most. Common things I see are pain associated with the kneecap, patellofemoral issues, aggravation of some underlying arthritis, and probably the most frequent thing is meniscal or cartilage injuries, the nature of the golf swing, loading the lead leg, and the force and twisting can set people up for injuries to their cartilage, their meniscal cartilage.
Thank you, Doc. What are some of the symptoms that you're seeing from some of these golfers?
Typically, patients may feel something catch or pop in their knee, and then they'll have intermittent symptoms, mechanical in nature, where they feel a click or a catch or even limited motion. There's often swelling associated with that, and impact activities or deep flexion will aggravate those symptoms.
Thanks, Doc. That's great information. We'll be back next time with some tips that'll help you prevent some of these injuries.
And in the weeks ahead, we'll have more from our Rothman specialist. Coming up next here on Inside Golf, our teed-off specialist. That's kind of a Spartan-esque, right?
It is.
I mean,
it is.
That's a real throwback,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I guess they really, their message is let's focus on the golf, and,
Right.
and there's nothing wrong with it.
And welcome back. Inside Golf Now continues with our teed-off panel. We're assembled today once again at Bluestone Country Club in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. Boy, it's a beautiful day outside. It's been a great summer, great golf season, and of course a great place to spend it is right here where it's always blue skies at Bluestone Country Club. All right, our panel today, back again, Bob Shepard,
Thank you.
longtime PGA professional in the Philly area, author.
Right.
His resume is as long as my arm, and my arm's above average length. Oscar Mestre, great player from Overbrook, this year's winner of the Chapman Cup, one of the Golf Association of Philadelphia events. Congratulations again, Oscar, for that.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of GAP and the Golf Association of Philadelphia, we have our good friend of the show and president of GAP, Mr. Quinn Spitzer. Good to see you.
Good to see you again, Harry.
Quinn, did you read the article recently in Golf Digest talking about locker rooms and great locker rooms around the U.S.? Philadelphia made it with a couple local clubs. We'll get into that a little bit later on in this segment. But it was interesting to see what they thought made for a great locker room.
Yeah, I mean, as they went through it, they obviously picked some of the best-known courses, and from those whittled down the ones that had the best locker rooms and the like. I mean, a lot of it depends on whether you're a traditionalist and like some of the ones that are a little more austere, or whether you want one that has its own bar and the beautiful wood lockers and the like. So it's kind of hard to compare. There's sometimes everybody sort of likes a different one. But in terms of the lockers, the ones that they picked, they missed a couple in Philadelphia that probably be worth looking at.
Who'd they miss?
Aronimink, I think, is one of the best locker rooms in the Philadelphia area.
What makes it one of the best?
It's got a cathedral ceiling to it, right, which is somewhat like the one they had number 4 at Indian Creek down in Florida, and somewhat like Seminole. And I think that gives it a much more open space to it. I think the green lockers are very well tended. They look good, spacious. So it's got a lot of things to recommend it. You've got the golfer's bar right off the side of it. You have a room where you can go watch TV on the other side. It's got almost everything you'd want in a locker room, for me.
Right. And, you know, you talked about whether you're a traditionalist or not. Another thing I noticed, Oscar, from way back, some of the clubs here in Philadelphia, they didn't even have lockers. They had hooks.
Right.
I remember the first time I went to Sunnybrook. Now, this is back in the 70s. Went into the locker room, and you had a hook to hang your clothes on and change, and then go out and play golf.
Golf Mills still has that.
Yeah.
Golf Mills has a real...
Sunnybrook does have lockers.
Minimalistic.
That's kind of a Spartan-esque, right?
It is.
I mean,
it is.
That's a real throwback,
yeah,
right?
I mean, I guess they really, their message is let's focus on the golf, and,
right,
and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, interesting to Quinn's point, I have been in Indian Creek's locker room, and it's fantastic, and I've been in Seminoles, and it's fantastic. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that overall, Overbrook Golf Club has a pretty nice locker room.
Full disclosure, member Overbrook, thank you very much, but I get it.
I want to make sure I get that plug in there. No, but it's, you know, again, what are you looking for? A place to come in after playing, exchange stories and exaggerate stories that you played better than you actually did.
Maybe exaggerate more than exchange.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. So it's you know, in a place where people feel comfortable and hang out a little bit. I think you know the socialization of the game, and so that's what I think
Big
of
part
as
of it.
Huge,
especially if you're not playing well. Bob, now you've been around probably more locker rooms than the whole panel combined. I mean, you go back, I mean, you know, your father was a pro, so you grew up around golf courses.
Exactly, yeah.
What made for you and what makes for you now a great locker room atmosphere?
Yeah, I've found through the years that the history is what makes the locker room. If they don't admit history into a locker room, and a lot of them make these modern places. They got the electric cleaners and all the different stuff that's available today, which is nice, but if they don't have a picture of Bobby Jones 18 or of something going on like that, they're missing the point. And one of the old days, when I used to play a lot, we used to look for the big shower heads the rain down, pour down shower heads. And if you walked in and saw the shower heads, you couldn't wait to get done playing to get in because they were beautiful. They're just lovely.
They are.
And then Atlantic City Country Club was a great example of that. History on all the walls. It was like the Union League. It was pictures of all the past presidents. Well, it was the Sonny Fraser, all the Sonny Fraser. You had to stop and take a look. And that's a real locker. And again, a cathedral ceiling. It wasn't, a closed top. Great. Just it's the way golf is all about. And they mentioned Augusta, with that's just pure history. When you walk in there, if the hair doesn't stand up on the back of your neck, you're in the wrong sport.
For those of us lucky enough to have hair.
Hey, I'm
and what makes, I think, a locker room, you mentioned Atlantic City.
Yeah.
A place like Atlantic City back in the day, White Marsh, any club.
Manufacturers.
Had a locker room attendant.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. That would know it was like, the bar in Cheers where they knew your name, and remembered if you were a guest.
Freddie down at Augusta.
Right.
He was a renowned caddy master. I mean, if you didn't know Freddie, you'd never really been to.
And what was the gentleman at White Marsh for years? His name's.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, whatever. And Atlantic City.
Moon.
Had Moon.
Atlantic City.
And they have a little plaque dedicated
Definitely.
in Moon's memory when he passed away.
He was on top of you for whatever you wanted. It was there.
Right.
And somehow he knew what you wanted, when you wanted it, and he took care of you. He was great. Yeah. Moon was super.
And how about in Huntington Valley? What's special about your place?
Well, Huntington Valley, I don't think is all that different from so many of the other ones. It's got all the features that you'd sort of want. It's not over the top.
They still have the cages for lockers?
No, they don't have cages. They still have regular lockers. But I will
manufacturer still has cages.
Yeah, they have one of those dial things, that you have to go and remember your combination, which is the reason I had them put one in where I could use a key because I'm too old to actually see that.
Right.
But there is the story that Shep was talking about the overhead showers. We have a member who actually, before he comes to work, actually showers at the club because the shower's nicer than the one he has at home.
Every club has a guy like that.
Absolutely.
If not two.
Yeah.
Come in, cup of coffee, shower,
exactly.
and then back home to read the paper, maybe, right? Yeah, it's amazing. Now, I've been to Calusa Pines. You've been there?
I've not been to Calusa Pines.
And they have like showers at the end of the locker rows. You don't have like necessarily a shower room. You just get changed and walk 10 feet down the locker, and bang, you're into your own shower. A little bit different, huh? You like that, won't you, Shep? How about overseas? I mean, I've been to some places in Ireland where, talk about hooks, you're lucky if you get a hook.
Well, you are, and also you have to remember when you walk in there, if you're gonna have lunch, you gotta have a coat and tie. So everybody's taking a shower or getting dressed and undressed all day long. So the locker rooms over there are very proficient, I guess you'd say. They had to be on their toes. There was you didn't see any lazy locker room attendants, And again, they knew everybody that walked in that building. It was like Pine Valley. When you pull up in a car, they know your name. How they did that, I don't know. But Troon especially, and Muirfield, all those courses through the years that I played, there were amazing locker rooms. And that's where it was played. And then you go in, have lunch, and you come back in, you get your golf clothes on, you go out and play golf, come back in, get your coat and tie on, and go back into the bar. And that was the routine. And if you wanted to shower in between, they had showers all over. And it was cold. Those locker rooms were cold. They didn't have heaters like we have, So.
And those overhead shower heads, only cold water.
That's
what do you want to do?
It was rough.
All right. That's it. Our best in locker rooms. Hope you enjoyed it. Back with more of Inside Golf next.
Located in Bluebell, just a short drive from Plymouth Meeting, Bluestone Country Club offers a setting that's close at hand but feels like a world away. Bluestone offers a championship caliber golf course, practice facilities including a large driving range, separate chipping and putting areas, and a staff of PGA professionals. At the Country House at Bluestone, you'll find excellent food, superb service, and an outstanding setting. Their expert staff will assist in planning your next event, whether it's a wedding or simply a luncheon, dinner, or cocktail party. Check out Bluestone's variety of membership options. Much more than a golf course, Bluestone is a community.
The world's best golfers, including Tiger Woods, are coming to the region for the BMW Championship at Aronimink Golf Club September 4th through 9th, so plan your stay in Montgomery County. Park at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks and shuttle to the tournament. Then, after the round finishes, make it a weekend at one of Monco's 75 first-class hotels. Dine in one of 1,600 restaurants, enjoy world-class shopping, and tee off at one of 53 historic and top-ranked golf courses. That's 3 300,000 yards of play. Come see the top 70 players compete in the penultimate event of the PGA Tour's FedEx Cup playoffs right here in the Philadelphia suburbs, and then make it Monco.
The first tee of Greater Philadelphia, where golf is more than a game.
And that is going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Hope you enjoyed our look at the Blind Golfers Association from the Mid-Atlantic region and what they did recently at Bluestone Country Club, and also our introduction of the Post, the husband and wife co-coaches of golf at the University of Delaware. And our thanks also go to the Chester Valley Golf Club for hosting this week's edition of Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. See you next week on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Monco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at moncogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company, quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.